Okay, I cut the camera off. And now I'm cutting it back on, okay? So you see that? That's the water solubility. The liquid is the water solubility of the oatmeal, okay? And that's why I wanted to take it off the fire, because you're gonna take it off the fire because you're gonna lose that. And now I have to reverse it right into the bowl because it's still cooking. And then I'll lose that water solubility. So I'm gonna put it in there like this, okay? And there we go. So you see that, and you see the water, you can see the liquid, okay? But you know, these kind of things like grits, oatmeal, they always stay hot a long time. Now, I'm going to put, I don't know if I'm going to eat this much, maybe, or maybe not, but I don't think so. I'm going to put, because I got blueberries. And the thing about the blueberries is they're expensive. And I don't want to waste them. I want to eat it all. I think I can eat this whole bowl. I'm not sure. But I think I'm going to take some out. Because I'm going to cook something tonight. And it's the only thing I want to do is I don't want, see that liquid? I want to keep the liquid. Okay. Now, you see the water in it, the watery, okay? Okay, so now, and then I'm going to put the blueberries in it. Unless you want me to put the blueberries in. Yeah, you want me to put the blueberries in now. Okay? I'm going to take like a handful, and then I'm going to wash them because they just got the store. Anyway, these babies were like so expensive. So I'm washing them a little bit and I'm put them in, okay? And I didn't want, you see what I'm doing? I'm washing them and I'm putting them in. And I didn't want to, these are very good. Okay, so that's enough. Now, I wanted to tell you this. I got this kind because, Drizzle, because at one of my jobs, I know it's a very good product. They're very, I mean, they can get old. I mean, if you let them sit in the refrigerator, but when they sell them, they usually sell them at a very, they're usually in very good condition when they're bought, okay? And these blueberries we're going to use later on for something I'm going to call cornbread and blueberry cornbread, okay? So I got this. Okay, now, do I put sugar? This, I don't want to, but I'm going to put sugar only because I don't have enough blueberries. When blueberries wasn't that expensive, I used to get the whole thing, maybe not like this, but a whole half of things like this. And I'm gonna put a little bit more. And I would put the whole blueberries in, okay? And it was a treat to do it. I can't do it every day. That's another thing. You don't want to eat blueberries and oatmeal every day. And you don't want to eat oatmeal every day. And if you follow my station, you know that there's certain things that can be eaten every day, and then certain things that you can't. There's a time factor in eating everything, okay? And I'm going to switch this. And one of the things are blueberries and oatmeal. Blueberries and oatmeal. Yes, a certain amount of time you can eat it, okay? Once in a blue moon. Oatmeal, you can eat, but then there comes a time you have to take a break. If you understand that, you have to understand your body. It's just that certain things, I guess you have to, it has to, like, it's enough. You know what I mean? Like when somebody says, that's enough, or you want to take a break, or, that's it, for now. Let me take a break on this, okay? So now I'm going to try it. Now, like I said, because of the fact that it's not as many blueberries as I will put in, and I got the combination kind of mixed up, because I ate toast and I wanted to eat all of the blueberries, but this time it's just the grant, it was too much. And it's too less raspberries because blueberries, because I want to do blueberries and cornbread tonight. Blueberry cornbread tonight. So I may have to put a little sugar, but my whole thing this time, what I wanted to learn was to not use sugar. Not because I don't like sugar, I just wanted just to taste the blueberries and sugar. So anyway, I'm tasting it. Yes. Okay, so anyway, I'm not going to put the sugar. So that experiment worked very well. And the fact that I don't have to use any sugar. Just make sure that when I eat it, I have blueberries while I'm eating. And that's the whole idea, so it's a very good experience. And you want to get that. One thing I just did about the water soluble fiber is when you take it off the fire, it's still cooking. So we got to get the timing a little bit right. I think to where I was sitting it for 20 minutes. Oh, I got to show you how I did it. What I did, this is important, was I put 1 cup of, in 2.5 cups of water, I put 1 heaping cup of oatmeal. And then I cooked it, I let it boil. And the thing about it is it's an electric oven. A gas oven is different. Because when it was boiling, I stirred it. I didn't want it to overflow with that you know how certain foods go up when it's boiling. So I didn't want to let it boil too much, not too long. Then I took it off the oven when it was boiling too much, when it was frizzing up. I took it off and then I turned the temperature down. It's electric. If it was gas, it would be easier. And then I kept it on the fire for in between low and medium. And I let it cook there for 20 minutes. But now I want to say 15 minutes. Or if you have a top like this, you can see when it's the water soluble fiber is working. So you want that watery kind of effect. The reason why it's fiber soluble is because of the taste. It doesn't have any water taste at all. It's a chemical reaction to where it turns the water into a liquid type of oatmeal fiber. Okay, so that's what you want. Okay, and you really need the cooking. For this one, you need cooking talent, because I'm using my talent. I'm not perfect on giving instructions. If I was perfect on giving instructions, then that's all you need is this recipe. So there's 2 types of people. Like I said, there's people who can follow and who can cook by instructions recipes, and there's a talented one who does the instructions but pretty much has that talent. So either talk to somebody else in the comments about this exactness, but someone who really have that talent, knows what I'm talking about. So right now, right now, because it was hot and the water, the fiber soluble, the soluble fiber, I have to say that because it's very important. The soluble fiber that was in it It's kind of gone because it's still evaporating or something, okay? But it's still at a nice thing, at a nice way. But if I said 15 minutes now, sit it on in between medium and simmer, in between medium and low for 15 minutes. It would be like 15 minutes. But like I said, if you have the talent, you'll see. So you wanted that watery effect that I showed you. And is there anything else? And then I took the top off. And that's about it that I did. And then, like I said, I put in the blueberries. I would have had more blueberries if it was so expensive. It's not that it's so much expensive, but I want to use the rest of the blueberries for a blueberry. I would have put in most of them, but I want to do a blueberry cornbread, something that I came up with also. Okay, so there you have it. I want to see if there's anything else I want to tell you about that. Like I said, okay, so like right now, I can see not as much liquid, but it's still liquidy. But it's funny how it continues to absorb or whatever. But make those changes that I said. Like I told you, I just want to make sure I told you. So about water solubility, what I want to say, fiber solubility. Oatmeal has fiber solubility or something like that, or it's soluble. It's one of the only or something like that. Fiber that is soluble. Okay, and that's what I wanted to use. And it's better to do it that way when you put the blueberries in it. It makes it very good. Okay, and now I understand another thing. You don't have to use the sugar. But you have to have, if you don't use sugar, you have to make sure you have enough blueberries. Why? Because all these people are not into sugar. Sometimes sugar is very important because certain chemicals, certain nutrients need sugar, point blank. Okay? Certain nutrients need sugar in order to combust, in order to work. Okay? And so it's very important that you eat the blueberries with the oatmeal. I know that for a fact because I've done it the other way. So it also makes your body is very smart because it goes, okay, you like something tastes good because you're doing the right thing. I'm just saying for some things, especially vegan. But if you don't follow the right things, it's not going to taste that good. It doesn't have to work out all the time, but it's mostly that's a good idea to go by certain things as far as sugar is concerned. So anyway, that's it for today. So now you know, and I want to make that point about the fiber being soluble because one time I want to say this one more experience because I'm doing a lot of work on my teeth. And there was one thing I was doing with I got a tooth out and it was just a big deal because I had to put some bone, okay, graft some bone because the bone, I don't know why, when I take out my teeth, as soon as I take out my teeth, the bone atrophies, okay? I mean, it's not something that's wrong or whatever, but when you don't use something, it's like atrophy, and I don't have a certain teeth in here. I'll explain one thing about my teeth in one of the videos. But then it atrophies or some of the words I know I conjugate the wrong way. And because they're not using, so I had to, because I want to put a tooth in, to get the root canal for the tooth was so expensive. One tooth. And I talked to everybody and they said it's the same thing. So anyway, the reason why I wanted to do it this way is because they also want to build up some bone so I can put another tooth. Anyway, that's a long time. But anyway, the medication I was taking, they gave me this medication. It was it's a very common medication. It's a penicillin or something like that. So anyway, I was taking it, but because of the way the tooth went, something happened or whatever. Anyway, I had to take a stronger dose, okay, because it got an abscess, okay. And I wanted to get rid of the abscess so I could take the tooth out. So when I had to go to emergency. Another long story. And they gave me a higher dosage of penicillin, which was great. But I noticed in penicillin, you have to have something in your stomach. You should have something in your stomach. But I had to make sure this thing worked. So sometimes I couldn't eat. And I noticed when I didn't eat, this penicillin, or however you call antibiotics or whatever, it reacted to my stomach too much, and it like tore apart a lot of things in my stomach. I could tell. Okay, I think it was like the fiber or whatever the lines of the stomach is or whatever. So what I had to do is these are things I know because I'm a vegan and I follow the food and everything and how everything makes me feel. So anyway, I started having diarrhea. I'm sorry. I mean, it's diarrhea. It's how can I say? It's medical diarrhea, so you don't think about it in the wrong way. And I knew it needed to do something. So what I did, because I say you understand certain things when you become vegan, you know about the food. So what I had to do is I had to line my stomach again. So I made sure the oatmeal had like the water soluble the water soluble fiber. Okay, I knew it had to be that way because another thing too, oatmeal, if you ever had oatmeal uncooked, if it's not cooked right, it will tear your fucking stomach up. Never try it. It'll be all right, but your stomach will go through, you will go through so much pain. So that's why I know I had to have the fiber melted, okay, that is water soluble. And I ate that, and I ate that, and I knew it was going to work out. So then after I finished that medicine, because I only had to take it for like only like a week. And everything worked out, and I did the tooth and everything, thank God. And, but anyway, I mean, and I know a lot of people get stomach and intestines, or how can I say, abdomen and stomach mixed up. Okay, the stomach, I'm almost sure, is higher up, and it's as soon as the food goes down, that's what was messed up. And then it goes into some kind of processing. Okay, so I think for sure, I don't know which one was kind of like messing it up to making the diarrhea, but when medical diarrhea, so you don't think about anything bad, and but it cleared it up. Like it took like less than a week, but I know it had a lot to do with the water soluble fiber. So that's it for today, and now we know how to do, and I make that on purpose. I say water soluble fiber, oatmeal and blueberries, because I want you to understand that. And I want it to be a vegan type of name. So thank you very much. Thanks for listening. And this is the second one actually, because it cut off by mistake when I was showing you the water solubility. Okay? Thank you very much. Bye-bye.